everybody, welcome back to my anime reaction on Gizanime. Today we're going to be reading Solo Leveling, chapter 173. Last we left off with Jin Woo confronting the Dragon King finally in the final panel of the manhwa. And we also see that Biru, Best Boy, is facing off against one of the other monarchs, the monarch of the Iron Body. Or the monarch, or the monstrous humanoid, I think is what he calls himself as well. So to say that his body is pretty strong or durable would be an understatement. Not sure how this fight is going to go with them two. I'm actually a little more excited to see that fight because it seems like that fight would be a little more interesting just because I think that the power scaling is a little closer. Because I'm really not sure how different the power scaling with Jin Woo and the Dragon King is, like how far apart they are, and if he's going to be an issue for Jin Woo at all, kind of like the monarchs were previously to Jin Woo's arising, because he was having a hard time with them. I would say he killed one of them, and then I think it was the Frost Monarch that started wigging out, and then the Beast Monarch knocked some sense into him. And they proceeded to kill Jin Woo. Jin Woo arises himself and then is like exponentially stronger than them. So I'm not sure how different the power scaling is with these two. But I think that the scaling for the Monarch of the Iron Body and Biru would be similar. And it will come down to more like wit and just, who can outthink the other. So with that said though, I also wonder if, like, Biru dies, Jin Woo can just, bring him right back. So, will it be more of a battle of attrition? Just how many Birus does it take to kill him? Or something to that effect? Will Beliant and Ingress jump in? Because, remember, we see everybody at the end when Thomas Andre pops in with the Shadow Army, but Ingress. So, I'm wondering if Ingress is actually still within Jin Woo's body. And he's just, holding him back for something that he really needs him for. Now, but with that said, let's get on to this chapter, see what happens. And I'll see you there. Alright, everybody. Chapter 173. See how this fight starts. Alright, so we have our two monarchs staring each other down. Right now, the Dragon Monarch has to...
I have the high ground!
I can't get in contact with the Monarch of Iron Body. Did he betray me? Nah, he's just really busy. Or is this part of your sorcery? Sorcery? Alright, so let's get these attacks going. I must kill you for sure.
Fuck you!
Picture that. Jin Woo looking a little surprised. Look at his eyes. They look kind of feminine right now.
You're breathtaking!
These look like really long eyelashes. Alright, so this attack is just carrying through all kinds of stuff. I want Jin Woo just to be standing there like... What? Right here he looks like one of the X-Men. One of the newer X-Men from Generation X. I forget what his name is. Alright, Dragon Monarch looking up. Okay, so Jin Woo jumped on his wyvern. Arise. So we're going to be getting a bit of his army. Okay. This is obviously going to have about the same effect as his breath attack had on Jin Woo. Okay, he's turning into a dragon himself, it looks like. Alright, and we jump panels, it looks like, because this looks like Liu. Yeah. With his long black hair, like, that definitely looks like him. Yep. Things like giants aren't much of a problem as long as we're not fighting at sea. All the magic power over land is trembling. There are probably tens of thousands of hunters confronting endless numbers of magic beasts everywhere. Especially since I can feel my whole body getting pricked by that magic power at this distance. So the battles that are ensuing are so strong that Liu is able to feel them from pretty much all over the world. And if he can feel it, I'm pretty sure Jin Woo and even like the Dragon Monarch and the others can feel it too. And this looks like they're confronting each other. Like, this is obviously the Dragon Monarch and this is Jin Woo. Have they finally started over there as well?
Well, duh.
Apparently. I'd say so. Okay. So like I said, he looks like he's transforming into his dragon form. Or at least part of it, right? He looks like he has scales over his hands. Alright. Knocks back the shadows, I guess, that Jin Woo sent in him. Are those good for nothing soldiers all you have? Is that terrible breath attack all you have?
Rude.
You sent your main force to the Monarch of Iron Body and tried to fight me with these mere troops. Okay, something catching his eye. Hey, what is this? Giant ball of power? Is he trying to run away?
No.
Is Jin Woo going through the portal he made? I will let him go no matter what. Okay, Jin Woo is obviously luring him into some kind of bait trap and he's just falling right for it.
Good.
Okay. So he went through it to the other side to find a whole bunch more soldiers and Ingress, okay. And then we have a few of the others, like this is Huang's shadow, I believe. Okay. We've got a whole lot of others. Like, has he already absorbed the troops of the Monarch of Iron Body? Okay, so there's Biru and Belian. Or is that Biru? He defeated the Monarch of Iron Body's troops first and then came after me. Not a bad strategy. But you're being absurd, Shadow Monarch. Okay, so here's the other Monarch. Who apparently has no legs. You might have thought that I'd be the only one chasing after you, but you're wrong. These are the gates that the Monarch of Transfiguration, Yagamut, has prepared. By using these, I can summon as many of my troops as possible. Looks like I've completely crushed your plans. I think he's getting a little ahead of himself right now. Now, not to say that Jin Woo didn't already account for something like this, but he could have, he could not have. So it would be best for you to be wary of the what if he did instead of what if he didn't. This misjudgment of yours will be the cause of your death. It's your loss. Look at Jin Woo smiling because he knows he's a forward thinker and he already has you pretty much figured out. And All that monologuing, pointless. Cancel summon. Why did you cancel all your summons? Don't tell me you've already given up. Given up already. Well, after seeing this overwhelming difference between us, it's not strange for you to give up. No, something else is going on. What is this? With his eyes. Is this something new he learned? Yes! He's becoming a shadow himself? It can't be. You bastard. Okay, Kamish's stone. We're finally figuring out what it's being used for. Stored in Kamish's runestone is a skill that's the worst enemy of the dragon race.
That's interesting.
Some kind of transformation or basically like all the dragons will now follow him type skill. Like hypnosis. Ooh. Looks kind of cool. Looks like he has like these really pink wings with like these darker reds flowing throughout them, and of course these horns on his head, and I guess this is the stone embedded in his chest. A roar from the soul that incapacitates everyone and drops them into despair. Regardless of whether they're allies or foes. Okay, so he got rid of everybody on his side because he didn't want them to go through the anguish of this despair that it's talking about. So he's letting out like this monstrous roar that's just going to incapacitate everything. I'm wondering how it's going to affect the Dragon King himself, though. Dragon fear. Okay. Oh, even the other monarch that was with him. I understand that the dragons can't move, but did he manage to render Yagami incapable of moving as well? So his power is above this guy's, but still equal or below slightly the Dragon King's. Which is why he doesn't seem to have any of this fear. But at the same time, his face kind of looks a little fearful. So maybe it's affecting him a little, but nowhere near as much. Follow me. Yo, did our boy just walk right by him nonchalantly? Like, come here, dude. I've got something to talk to you about, man. Like, can't we just hash this out with our words? Do we gotta beat each other up? Do we gotta use fists? Does it really have to come to this? Like, we're adults. Let's be adults. It kind of has that same feeling that, if you're a Bleach fan, Ichigo had when he took Aizen by the head and just forced him into the desert area to fight. Like, but he's being a little more calm about it. But then in this next panel, that is fear. I don't care what kind of front this guy is going to put on. He's a little worried. Could it have all been for this moment? Okay. Something dark is looking like it's happening. Is he transporting him to... Okay. He transported him to that castle area. So now they're alone, by themselves. He switched places with one of his shadows, taking the Dragon King with him. And Jin Woo still has all his shadows within himself. So now he has the bigger advantage because he has an army he can call out, whereas the Dragon King has literally nothing but himself.
What am I gonna do?
This is A place on the opposite side of the world from where your army is. Exactly. While an all-out war would be more advantageous to you if you had that many troops, it would also eat up your magic power much faster. Your plan to bring me here alone is an amazing strategy. Is that your castle? Look at Jin Woo's face. He's like, yeah, maybe it's my castle because Biru wants me to have it. That's right. Considering that it belongs to the Shadow Monarch, it's not that impressive. Yo, any castle to Jin Woo would be like a little, not humbling, what's embarrassing, I guess? Because he doesn't really care about all that flashy show. Even so, I thought that the castle would be perfect to commemorate your death. Why does our boy look half naked? Man, this is probably the biggest simp panel I have seen of this guy ever. Like, just throw that on the cover of GQ magazine or something. So this fight would be about whether I can last until my troops find me or not. Okay, so they're about to really have the final fight. Jin Woo did call out everybody that he has with him. So, right now, the Dragon King's army is trying to find where he's at. So, the goal is to beat him before they get to him. Because then the battle turns back into his favor. So, right now, it's in Jin Woo's favor. But can he manage to take him down? Which shows to me that, yeah, the Dragon King is definitely stronger than Jin Woo. Because if Jin Woo needs all his shadows in himself to take down the Dragon King, then there is a definite advantage on the Dragon King's side, especially if his army is still with him. So, following chapters, we'll see what's going on. We didn't get any of like Biru with the Iron Monarch, which is a little disappointing. This chapter was still pretty good, and I don't mind that it didn't show anything with Biru, but it would have been kind of fun to see. Hopefully we get a little bit of that next chapter. I really don't want like some gloss over of off-screen Biru beat the crap out of him type thing, but if that happens, okay, at least we know that Biru was the stronger. With that said, though, let me know what y'all thought of this chapter, and I'll see you all next time.